Hi, I'm Eva. On this channel, I share carefully selected and restored historical photographs to help us better understand the past. These images tell real stories about real people and moments in time. Everything here is presented purely for educational and historical purposes in its original context, without any intention to promote or judge.
A shoe bill that survived the bombing of the Berlin Zoo is cared for by its keeper in her bathroom. Jesse Owens arriving in London after winning 4 gold medals at the 1936 Olympics. (1909) portrait of Wanata Parker, daughter of Comanche chief Quanah Parker. An Inuit woman wearing a cross around her neck and a child on her back, King Island, Alaska. A woman of Old Cairo. Family photo. Chris Farley and his dad in the 1990s at a beach on Lake Michigan. George Armstrong Custer's school photo, West Point. A woman churning milk to butter while reading a book. Gene Cernan smiling for the camera with his suit caked in lunar dust. Violet Jessup, known as the Queen of Sinking Ships. She survived the RMS Olympic, 1911, RMS Titanic, 1912, and HMHS Britannic, 1916. Portrait of a man. Housewife Marjorie McWeeny posing with a symbolic display of her weekly housework at Bloomingdale's store. Howard Hughes at the controls of his 200-ton flying boat, the Spruce Goose. Marilyn Monroe on the set of her last movie. Japanese-American architect Minoru Yamasaki poses next to a model of the Twin Towers. He is known for creating the design of the original World Trade Center. One armed bandit in a casino, Nevada, 1960. Photo by Inga Marath. David Geffen, Rick Moranis, Frank Oz, and Ellen Greene on the set of Little Shop of Horrors. German soldiers pose with a Sami reindeer herder, Lapland, Finland. Glass soda bottles were popular back then. Portrait of a woman, age 84. Buddhist priest conducting a sermon in French Indochina, Saigon, Vietnam. The village's barber giving a bowl cut, Brittany, France. pioneering rock and roll artist and Rock and Roll Hall of Famer, Sister Rosetta Tharpe became an overnight sensation after recording Rock Me. A French reservist gives a farewell kiss to his wife before war mobilization during the Sudetenland crisis. Linda Ronstadt. Bette Davis posing on a boat. Woman playing gold at Braid Hills, Edinburgh, Scotland. Oscar II, King of Sweden, 1872-1907, and Last Bernadotte, King of Norway, 1872-1905. Colorized photo. Clowns in the First World War, the Balmorals, entertainers of the British 51st Division in Chellers, France. Cleaning a corner eagle ornament atop the Chrysler Building, New York City. Bikes that ran on railroad tracks, Pellston, Michigan. Teenagers in their jalopy, Belle Glade, Florida. Looking out the window of Apollo 11. Portrait of English actresses, Miss Gertrude Glynn and Miss Gaynor Rowlands. Vivien Leigh winning her Oscar for Gone with the Wind. A Canadian police officer monitors a pharmacy during a flood, Galt, Ontario, Canada. Hiru Onoda, middle, the Imperial Japanese soldier who hid in the Philippine jungle for 30 years after WW2. On Your Honor, a speed limit sign in the 1920s. The Cornu helicopter, the first helicopter to fly. Its creator, Paul Cornu, was a bicycle maker, France. Teenagers listening to Hello Young Lovers. Annie Lennox of the Eurythmics on stage in Groningen, Netherlands. Andy Warhol using an Amiga computer to create a digital portrait of Debbie Harry. Workers nearly 200 feet, 60 meters above the ground assembling the Hindenburg, still physically the largest man-made vehicle to ever fly. A woman grinds coffee beans at the store and post office, Castellon, Texas. The last photograph of Freddie Mercury taken in 1991. Ford's car television. Alfred Hitchcock impersonating Ringo Starr. A train at Tunnel 8, Temascopa Canyon, Mexico. Father and son posing in a plane at the Wisconsin State Fair. Miners in the Serra Pelada gold mines in Brazil. A Ford Model T turned into a sandwich shop, Washington, D.C. A smiling woman ironing clothes in a laundry, U.S. A woman grocery shopping. A hired reader reciting books to cigar makers hard at work in a cigar factory, Cuba. Sculptor Felix de Weldon working on the plaster model of the U.S. Marine Corps War Memorial. Jane Fonda. A man in his new car. Charlie Chaplin. Playing chess at the corner of Broadway and West 49th Street, Midtown Manhattan, NY. Eva Marie Saint in a wardrobe test photograph for Alfred Hitchcock's North by Northwest. Susie Quattro. Behind the scene of A Clockwork Orange. Françoise Hardy, 1960s. Photo by Georges Vermard. A woman posing in New York City. Stevie Wonder, Jeff Beck, and Cozy Powell, Motown Studios. Sonic Youth performing at CBGB in New York City. Inventor of the Super Soaker, Lonnie Johnson. Jimi Hendrix performing live with a white Fender Stratocaster. Felix Dzerzhinsky, second from left with Cheka agents, the first Soviet secret police. General Secretary Leonid Brezhnev, USSR. Council of Lithuania, Lietuvos Taryba, signatories of the Act of Independence, Vilnius. Bic Pen promotional car, France. Archduke Franz Ferdinand and his wife Sophie, Sarajevo. Maria del Mar, left. Al Jurgensen of Ministry, Nivek Ogre of Skinny Puppy, and Chris Shepard backstage at RPM. Before digital cameras and social media, drive-through photomat booths provided the best way to print memories on a 4x or 6 piece of glossy paper. Marina Towers high-rise apartment building parking garage, Chicago. A steam train crossing the Sandsend Viaduct near Whitby in North Yorkshire. Sydney, Australia. Cleopatra's Needle being loaded onto the SS de Suge to transport it to New York. Barcelona, Spain. Coney Island, New York. The Warsaw Royal Castle, before 1900s and after 1945 German occupation. Stonehenge reconstruction. Hooverville shanty town near Seattle, Washington, USA. Post office in Findlay, Texas, 1937. Photo by Dorothea Lange. A car crash in Washington, D.C. James Bond receives a text message via his smartwatch in The Spy Who Loved Me. Soviet Germans going for a walk in the Volga German ASSR. Orson Welles and Charlie Chaplin at Brown Derby, Hollywood. Portable telephone van, Toronto. The face of the Statue of Liberty before being attached to the body. "40-year-old Vladimir Putin carrying bags for St. Petersburg, Mayor Anatoly Sobchak during his tenure as committee head for external relations of the city. During the 1980s, when the Soviet Union invaded Afghanistan, a gas station in Toronto refused to fill Ladas, Soviet-made cars, as a form of protest. Jean Bugatti posing next to his Bugatti Royale, one of 7 built. Oil gusher at Signal Hill, near Long Beach, California, one of the most productive oil fields in the world. The outside of the Opera House, Belfast, Northern Ireland, November. Model Kitty Nolan posing in front of Tropicana, Las Vegas. Vice President Paul Kagame and U.S. Secretary of Defense William J. Perry discuss the events and aftermath of Rwanda's brutal genocide. Japanese troops entering Shenyang during the Mukden incident.